Hey, it's Prerak, and I made a mistake. Let's take it inside. Heavy. But what was this need to pick up a new project car though? While we already have the Laura, which isn't even fully done yet. Well, I got the Laura at the end of 2022 and I got the Polo in the middle of 2020 and modified every single thing on it. We facelifted that car, we installed wheels on that car, we lowered that car, and it was my first time doing everything on my own. We even added electric seats to it, which felt like such a huge deal at that time. So I learned so much from that car electronically. I gained so much confidence that I can work on a car that I decided to pick up a project to do an all-wheel drive swap on. So I picked up the cheapest petrol Laura that I could find in North India. So we picked it up and decided to do an all-wheel drive conversion to it. And we successfully did that as well. In that process, I learned so much about gearboxes, mechanicals of the car, how to remove the subframe, how to fix tiny gremlins in the electric wiring of the car, and add so much wiring for such drivetrain swaps. It was a manual when the car came to my life, and now it sits as an automatic. So with so much confidence that I could work on the mechanicals of the car as well, I wanted to challenge myself again. And a friend offered this. This car and this project is so far beyond my scope of knowledge that was really interesting, and I look at it as a challenge. So I picked it up. But that doesn't mean that the content on the Laura and the Polo has stopped. It was getting quite repetitive and stale. So to spice things up, this is a new project. But why did I pick up this car in particular? It's because of this. This is a 3-liter V6 supercharged engine, which is pretty rare to find in India. Mated to it is a 7-speed DSG, the DL501, and that is coupled with an all-wheel drive system. So this car is quite the machine, and when built right, this is a supercar killer. Such a powerful engine, such an amazing drivetrain, and couple that with the interior, which is so high-tech and so luxurious because it is an Audi A6. These cars don't come cheap, and I wanted one for the longest time. To our trip to Ladakh, a similar car had joined us. It was put together entirely, it wasn't in this condition. It was a really fine example. After driving it, I just knew I want one of these in my life. So when this sort of project car came up on sale, I knew I just had to buy it, and I did. But how did this car end up in such a bad state? Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, someone bought this car locally here from Maharashtra. It had some issues in the engine, and while trying to fix them, some more issues were revealed. And it went to countless mechanics to get fixed one after the other. Everyone opened some part, tried to put it together, but it just made the car worse. And that happened more than 4 or 5 times in the 4 or 5 years of this life. Instead of fixing things, everyone that touched the car just made it worse, to the point where even the splines of the steering are worn down and it just spins freely at the column. So I have a Laura steering wheel installed in the car to maneuver it around. But who works on a car and ruins it to the point where even the steering stops working? I mean, this is, how do you manage that? The most common failure of the 3.0T is that oil and coolant starts to get mixed inside of the engine. And that happened with this as well. While trying to fix it, people just made things worse and worse and worse. At some point, there was a small fire in this area of the engine bay as well, which managed to get the bonnet, a lot of the wiring, some crucial components which were supposed to make the supercharger run better. And in the process to fix those, the car just kept on getting stripped further and further. And right now as it sits, it needs a little too many components to work again. So instead of thinking of what we need or what is missing, let's look at the things that are inside of the car, like the engine, the transmission, and most of the dashboard. While a lot of the trims are missing, those are the things that we can purchase, and a lot of the interior is missing or damaged. But we do get some goodies with the car. Let's see. So we have one headlight, that's good. We'll safely keep this. What else? Oh, we have the glove box. So this is the driver dorsal, good, we have that. This is the dashboard, ouch, sorry. This is the glove box, cool. Well, most of it. We have the head unit, which is sitting in a pile of rat poop. I shouldn't be tinkering around in this car, I think. This is a hazard. This is the engine cover, engine cowl. Good that this is here. And we have a steering rack. The steering on this car currently doesn't work. I'm pretty sure that the steering that is kept here doesn't work either. We'll need to check that. That's gonna be fun. But let's pull it out. Oh damn, we have the airbag. Nice. I thought we didn't have this. Cool, we have the airbag. That's gonna save me some money. Let's pull this rack out. It isn't even complete, it doesn't have the module with it. See, the module is missing. The coupler is broken. So we have the dead pedal, A-pillar trims, which are beyond worn down, extremely dirty. These can't be reused. We need to reupholster these. And this one is broken. Wow, amazing. We have an outer tail light. This is the passenger side outer tail light. Good. Rest, everything that is missing, we'll need to purchase it. It's gonna be expensive. Okay, we found another expensive piece. It says Quattro because this car is Quattro. Cool. The dashboard will look somewhat complete. It has some scratches on it. I guess we'll get new ones anyway, which have carbon fiber on them. So anyway, it's a good thing that it has this. So what is the scope of this project right now? What are the few things that we need to fix on priority? Well, first of all that we need to fix is the Airmatic suspension. If you leave the car for too long, it just goes totally down on the floor. Right now we have it propped up, but we need to fix that ASAP. Another thing that we need to fix is the steering rack, because it's impossible to turn the steering wheel right now. And with both of those things sorted, we can at least move the car around. Before we can move it around a lot, we need to fix the engine. It is still mixing coolant and oil. And I'm pretty sure they never changed the PCV. Even though the previous owner did tell me that they changed the PCV, I do not think that's done, because it's either the PCV or the oil cooler that is making those liquids mix. And oil cooler, as I just saw, is brand new on this car. PCV you cannot really see unless you pick up the supercharger. So first and foremost is Airmatic and steering rack. But actually before that, we need to thoroughly clean this. It is a hazard to be inside this car. There's just, I don't know how many insects must have been in this car at some point. Rats, definitely. Other insects, I just don't know. So we need to thoroughly clean this car, strip what's broken, and we need to fix a lot of wiring. A lot of wiring. Half of the reason that the Airmatic is not working because the module has its wires torn apart. You can see that the ECU has most of its wiring torn apart. There are just loose pipes. ECU has most of the wiring torn apart. People have tried so many things with this car. The thing is, the first precaution that you should take with an A6 is that it should be electronically sound. This car is electronically totaled. Almost every strand of wire will need to be rechecked. I think I'll get new engine harness for this car because it's totally tattered. There's nothing that is one piece in this car. So yes, a lot needs to be done. But let's begin with Airmatic. Because of the failing Airmatic and the failed steering rack, it was impossible to bring the car even over here. It was sitting in a really narrow road near a mechanic's shop, and it was so far inside of that particular market that a flatbed wouldn't come inside. We had to take this car out of those narrow gullies to the main road, and that took us 3 hours because of the amount of things that are failing with this car. Number one, it wouldn't start. It took us such a long time to just start this car. When we started it, it wouldn't go into gear, and we couldn't even take it into gear because it was sitting on a couple of bricks. So we had to prop the suspension up somehow because it would always go straight to the ground. There was no way to fill the suspension. It has balloons. There was no way to fill air into them because of the failing Airmatic. It took us such a long time. It is a story of its own. Right there and then, we scanned the car, and there was no module without a fault. The entire screen went red with faults. So yes, a lot is failing with this car, but our priority remains the Airmatic. But if so much is wrong with the car and seemingly nothing works, why did I even take up this project? Well, this car came to me 4 or 5 months ago, and it was in a little better shape than it is now. At that time, the owner and I could not agree on the price that I was offering. By the way, if you can guess the correct price at which I picked up this car, you'll get a shout out in the next video. So leave that in the comments down below. But anyway, back then we couldn't agree at the price. But that itch of the 3-liter supercharged got to me. I started looking for cars over and over again, and each example was more and more expensive. I couldn't find a single car under 15 lakh rupees, and I didn't want to spend all that much just because I wanted a supercharged engine. So I started looking for a C6 A6. This one is a C7, which is the facelift pretty much. So I started looking at the previous generation, the C6 A6, and I found a good example of it in Maharashtra, and I was this close to buying it, this close. But I thought, let's give this car's owner one final call, one final chat, and see where it goes. And luckily this time we could agree on the initial price, because in those 4 or 5 months this car was sitting with a local mechanic, and it didn't get any better, and I think it got a little worse in that time. It was a little more put together 5 months ago than it is now. So that price seemed good to the owner as well. And the car, which is on sale at about 18 to 20 lakhs, I got it for much less than that. I wanted this exact engine, I wanted this exact generation, but now I just have to fix it entirely. But if all the mechanics failed, how do I know that I can fix it? Well, as I stated earlier on this video, I wanted to challenge myself, and this is quite the challenge. We'll see if I can fix it or not. We'll give it our best. We'll give it the best shot that we can. No matter what we have to do to this car, we will do it. We'll get it back on the road. The only motivation I have, honestly, is that I imagine that this car, I guess 10 years ago, would be flying down the highway, giving smiles to the passengers and the drivers that used to drive this car. And now, this poor thing is rotting away. I cannot let that happen. Not when it exists so close to me. So I'm going to give it my best shot and see where it goes. So the car has a lot more things missing than the things that there are. Like, what is missing? Headlights, front bumper, rear seat bench, tail lights, this side skirt, right hand side skirt, crucial engine components, most trim and brackets are missing, fender lining is missing, steering and steering rack, both of those things are gone, AC condenser, so I don't know if AC compressor works, but condenser is missing, passenger front balloon is gone. All the balloons seem fine on just a visual inspection, but that passenger one is gone. Headliner is totally done for. It's ruined. So we need a new headliner as well. And wiring. This car is electronically totaled, so we need to rewire the entire car almost. What else is missing? Bonnet struts. We just have one right now. That too is broken. windshield nozzle for the windshield washer fluid. That nozzle is missing. I don't know if the bottle is still there, but the nozzle is non-existent. And tires. Even though there are tires on the car, they are completely dry rotted. Maybe they are 10 years old, I'm not sure. So we need those as well. Talking about the things that there are, we have the engine, we have the transmission, we have most of the body, we have 75% of Airmatic balloons, and I guess that's about it. We have brakes as well. We have most of the modules. What else can you ask for? So yeah, a lot more needs to be done to this car. So in the next video, you will watch me clean this car up, clean the interior and fix some of the wiring. Hopefully in the next video, the Airmatic of this car will be sorted and the steering rack will be sorted as well. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week.